I can, two words that capture the heart and essence of Black History Month. Today, it is my privilege and esteemed honor to introduce to you Mr. Lance E. Lee, author, motivational speaker, and former president of the Tokyo American Club. Thank you again, Mr. Lee, for your time today.
Shelley, I can't thank you and Peter too much or enough for inviting me to do this.
Tell us, what made you make the giant leap to come to Japan in 1974?
I came here in 74 with the United States Air Force.
Oh, wow.
It was my last 2 years in the service, and I actually had to extend to get a 2-year term over here. Single, you do 2 years. And it was during Vietnam, and I joined because I had been drafted.
Oh, okay.
So you can't be drafted to the Air Force. You have to take a test to get in. And I passed the test. Therefore, when I had an opportunity to go to Vietnam, I put in for Vietnam. They said, we can't give it to you because we got the quota we needed, but we can give you Japan. I said, where's the paperwork? I expected to see rickshaws and grass hats and stuff. That's what I thought I'd see. I knew Japan was not a big thing on anybody's radar in 74. Nobody, we knew that they made motorcycles and stuff like that, and the stereo equipment was getting a little bit better, but it was not the bomb. I come over here and it blew my mind. It was just beautiful. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it while I was in the service. So the first thing I did was to go off base to get a job outside of my job there because I knew I wasn't going to stay in the service. And that's what I did. I became an investment consultant.
Okay.
I worked for a company that sold real estate, mutual funds, insurance, debentures. That's the kind of stuff we did. And I went there and I got a job immediately because he said, no one's ever come in here asking for a job to sell. Why did you? And I said, well, I don't plan on staying in the service all my life. And someday I'd like to have money. And once I get it, I'd like to know what to do with it. And I figured, if you gave me a job here to sell, you'd have to teach me. And then I'd be able to use it for myself as well. He said, you got a job.
Wow. I think that definitely ties into your I can philosophy.
That happened through a young lady that I had in my program that I was teaching at the base when I got out. I was coaching their gymnastics team, and I had a little girl by the name of Angie Bennett. Angie, if you're out there and you see this, please contact me. I've been talking about you forever in these types of talks. Her name was Angie Bennett. She could do a back handspring if I spotted the first one, then she could continue. But she wouldn't do the first one by herself. So I made a plan to teach it to her. One Saturday we went into the gym. 2 hours later, I'm still spotting her. She's still doing the back handsprings after that, but not by herself. I looked at her and started thinking, why is she not doing this by herself? And it finally hit me why she wasn't able to do the first one by herself. She would say, I can't. And I go, come on, you can do it. She'd say, I can't. She'd say, I said, but you can do it. Okay, let me spot you. She said, but I can't. When it hit me, because of some of the training I got in sales, that what you say, what you think and say and start to believe can change your habits. So I said, Angie, I know what I want you to do. Just say I can. She said, but I can't. I said, that's okay. Say I can. Now I know she said that enough. And she did. She'd go, I can. I said, say it again. I can. I'd spot her. Say I can. Spot her. And I say, now one of these times I'm not going to spot you, but you keep on saying I can. She said, I can. I spot her. Say I can. I spot her. And she'd do it. I can. I can. She'd do it. Say I do it again. I can. You got it. And then I said, from now on, I'm going to teach the kids to say I can. But it's a whole mantra. It's not just that. I have the kids yell on 3, I can. Then I say, what happens if you say I cannot? The kids say, it makes things harder. What happens if you say I can and you believe it? The kids will say, it makes things easier. Is that only for gymnastics? No, that's for everything. Then I say, okay, what if I say I can, but I really believe I cannot? The kids say, it makes things harder. And I say, why? What you believe is stronger than what you say.
As the first African American president of the American Chamber of Commerce in Japan and the Tokyo American Club, what crucial lessons have you learned about leadership in a multicultural environment?
Being the only, even up till now, African American in both organizations and the only American to be president in both, I learned a lot about myself. And I think each gray hair would tell you what I learned, because I was completely black when I started. I was completely black. So I think each hair popped up every time I was learning something. And this is how much I've learned. But it's mostly about yourself. I never had a person that I disliked, but I had several times when I disliked actions people would make. And I learned in that position, you have to separate it. For example, someone might say something or do something that I'm really not happy with, but that doesn't make that person a bad person. When you learn to love yourself, all that stuff starts to drop away. When you learn to do that and realize you're going to be with you till the end of your life, you might as well learn to like yourself.
Okay, wow. Powerful words. Loving yourself, accepting yourself, and also separating actions at this point in time from an actual individual. Powerful lessons. Again, you've been in Japan for 50 years, and I think there's a lot that's changed.
Keep up with what's going on. Because the reason why I say keep up with what's going on is because many people might have already heard this before, and you might have heard this. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present.
Oh, I like that.
Okay?
Right.
Thinking like that. What happened in the past? I don't have time. That's done.
Right.
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Today is what you have to pay attention to.
So we have a few more minutes. We have to wrap up. And as we're celebrating Black History Month in Japan, and also cultural diversity and impacting the community that we're in, are there any words that you'd like to give for advice, whether it's to the community here in Japan, international community? What are some of the big things as a leader, as an entrepreneur, motivational speaker that you would like to impart to all of us?
Okay. For the foreign community, I would say this. Make sure you learn the language. Learn the language, learn to at least understand it. Speaking is another thing, but learn to understand this language so you understand some of the nuances which you'll learn over being here time. Because if you learn that and learn to mimic it, it'll make your time here a lot easier. And you'll be vibrating with the people here, the Japanese people here, a lot better. So just do that. For all of the Japanese, I would say, learn to go and trust your feelings and speak to the foreigners that you think are kind. Get to know them. Listen to the things, the kind of language you want to learn. It might be French, it might be Portuguese, it might be English. But learn it, at least to understand it. So if you get around people speaking it, and you have them here.
Yes, you do.
From every place in the world. They're here in Tokyo particularly. They're here. And all you have to do is search them, and you can find them that quick. And now that you have all this communication that's instant, you could ask chat or ask Siri, where are the Portuguese, where are they? And you'll find out, and just make sure you're around there a lot.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's about everything you get is going to come through someone. So get to know someone. Some 2, some 3, some 4. Don't stop. Because every day is another day. Keep on doing it, and there's no time to ever stop doing it. That would be the advice I give to people. Because journeys are varied, and they're unique to that individual and how they take it. Love yourself. Trust yourself. Believe in that person. Words are the weakest way to communicate. Trust your feelings. Start to get them. But that's only after you've learned yourself and you loved yourself. And get around other people, because it's not going to come to you if you don't get around them. You can't sit in your home and say, oh, I want to meet somebody. Just get out where they're at. Go up to them, say hello. How have you been? And you're in a country where you're pretty guaranteed they're not going to do anything violent. So you don't have to worry about that. You can go up there. As a woman, especially if you're a woman who's a foreign woman, you can go up to almost any Japanese person and feel safe and secure and not worry about it. You can go up to them and ask them anything, and you meet some of the best people in the whole world that you've ever met. They'll be so kind and so nice, because that's how they're taught to be, right?
Right.
But that's what I would suggest you do, and then this would be a really pleasant journey.
All right. So in closing, for Black History Month, get out there, connect with people, learn about their culture. And again, Black history is not just history, it's what we're currently living, it's experiences, it's diversity, it's impacting mindsets. So again, Mr. Lee, it's a pleasure to have you here.
I really enjoy it. I mean, I'm happy to be here.
This video was brought to you by EdulinX, providing comprehensive support for global talent development.